Welcome to the podcast that looks at truth, fiction, and reality with a smirk. I'm Aaron Peterson.
I'm Amanda Sink.
And I'm Zack Parkerson.
And welcome to the Season 2 finale of Smirk. Each week, one of our hosts introduces an original story, which we then use as a springboard for spirited and lighthearted discussion, whatever the moral or the theme of the story was. But we ain't doing it this week! Rules. By rules. Rules suck. What we're going to do is, if you've ever heard this, we've done it a few times now, four times?
Handful. We'll just go with a handful.
Okay. How big are your hands? I don't know. So
Small.
This time, what we're going to do is we're creating this story on the fly. Now, we've kind of varied. We went 7, we've gone 8, we've gone 9. What's the number we're doing this time, do you guys think? What's the number you want to use?
How many rounds do we
How many rounds of lines? Now, basically, how this works, people, is we each get a line, one sentence, roughly, and we go round robin. And we have multiple rounds of this, and we start with the first line, takes us to the last line, and in the crux of that, we should have a story by the end of it. And you're going to hear us laughing and having fun with it, and then you'll hear the complete story at the very end of the episode. That's how we do it. But how many rounds? Yes, that's the question, Zach.
8.
She's
8, I guess, is what Amanda said. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be a tricky one. 19.
That's a long story.
We can keep going until tomorrow.
Well, we're rolling the dice a little bit this time, right? Because we actually have listener sentences that we're going to incorporate in our story, which we're gonna go ahead. You guys have these in front of you?
We do.
Sure.
So let's alternate. What is the order we're doing this time for the rounds? Do we want to draw? We should have drawn. That's what we should have done.
I can do that real quick.
Put our names in and randomly generate it.
Yep.
What a world. Okay,
Amanda's going to work a randomly generated order up that we're going to use. And in the meantime, Zach and I are going to read the lines that we have from listeners. So Zach, here you and I can alternate. Let's start with Nate Bruce's sentence that he once incorporated is, and when Sheila gave him a big hug, Zach smiled.
I get to be a protagonist.
You get to be a part of the story. I don't know if that makes you protagonist yet.
Well, I guess if I go first. Craig Schermerhorn submitted, "Ladies and gentlemen, take my advice, pull down your pants and slide on the ice." So that'll be easy to work in there.
I also have the order too.
Okay, hang on.
Okay.
Christy Flores, and then Sheila realized she wouldn't have let her guard down when she felt the hot rush of blood from her stomach as Zach's smile faded into a crooked smirk.
Smirk.
That's 2 people
Somebody's been
referenced you.
Well, every show's got to have a fan favorite, am I right?
Wow. Where's your head? It's there, and it's there, and it's over there.
Yeah, we just talked a couple weeks ago about the ego of cult of personality. So, Doug Crabtree, feeling his vacation slip away, Chip powered down his phone, placed it in his glove box, and locked his car. We've already got, 3 characters we got to work into the story?
Yep. Eesh. Now, Ken from Chicago, he gave us 2 options, okay? Because he submitted 2, so we're going to put them both on the board. And we're gonna work them in at some point, but we don't know which one we're gonna work in. Whoever uses it first basically negates the other one. Okay. Mm-hmm. So his first sentence is, "The starship launched into warp speed."
Easy.
Yeah, that's gonna be a breeze to work in. And the second one is, "In the summer heat, you get instant cooldowns." Okay.
And then Tori Melching submitted, "Everyone died, or did they?"
And lastly, Paula Francine's line is, "I'm Batman."
I'm Batman.
Oh my God. This is going to be weird to make this work. All right, Amanda, what is the order that was randomly generated that we're going to do our rounds in?
I'm kind of annoyed because I was hoping I wouldn't be first, but it goes Amanda, Zach, Aaron.
Oh, so I get the last line this time.
You do.
Sweet.
Weird reaction to that information.
I like how
Man, what a shame. I had a perfect first line, too.
What were you going to use?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Save it until the end, then tell us.
Wow, it's not a big deal.
Well, I'm definitely using one of these as the opening line.
No, I don't want her to steal it. Well, you don't have to. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 listener lines, because we put it out there on Twitter and Facebook and said, hey, if you come up with a line, throw it out there and we'll try to incorporate it in the story. And we're gonna do it, damn it. We are going to do it. But how many rounds? We haven't decided that yet.
Right. So what do we do normally? Do we normally do 8?
Yes. Yeah, we normally do about 7 or 8. 8.
Do you think we should do 10? Give ourselves some breathing room to get these lines worked in?
Wow.
All right, I could do that. Let's do 10. Because seven's already like 2 rounds itself.
Right. Exactly.
So 10 rounds. Who's ready to start this?
Well, who's going to start this? I mean, only Amanda gets to start it, so.
I really wish I was not first.
Why?
Because I don't know how to start it. There's so many. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to incorporate all these names and like get the story going.
Well, hang on. First, clear your mind. Get a vision. You're Stephen King. you just got hit by
our favorite, our number one listener.
You just got hit by a van. You're laying down, you're looking up going, ouch.
Have you read any of my stories before?
And you're thinking, I need a story to come to my mind other than I'm going to beat that dude's ass when I get up. What comes to your mind?
Does it involve kids banging in the sewer?
It's not it.
That's not what they said.
Can we change the order?
No. Random generator.
You did.
Generated.
Zack,
Fate decided.
Can I take your line?
You're the one that did it. You could have literally lied to us. We have no idea.
I am too honest for that. Here, let me redo it.
No, it's done. You get the first line. Pick one.
It's Amanda, Zack, Aaron.
I'm just going to use one of the lines in here then.
Okay, that's fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, take my advice. Shh, stop talking. I even had enthusiasm.
I don't know if that's a good choice.
Why?
Because we're starting
just
with
go.
Naked dudes on the ice. I'm going to make this a murder.
No, you're not.
Ladies and gentlemen, take my advice. Pull down your pants and slide on the ice.
Wow. No.
Good luck.
I know. Yeah. No, I got this. Okay, so you went lazy nice. You go back, pull on your pants, slide on the ice.
Why did you say it so sexually, like underneath your breath?
Because pull down your pants and slide on the ice. That does not sound sexual to you?
It does, but he like said it sexually too.
Because he's thinking about it. I don't blame him. I'm kind of like going to Google that on Pornhub when we're done.
Weird.
Chip wondered to himself why the captain always had to say this when they left the star dock.
Are you trying to work that damn spaceship in? Son of a bitch. All right, so
come on, man. I lined it up.
What was the line again? Line.
Chip wondered to himself why the captain always had to say this when they were leaving the star dock.
Feeling his vacation away, Chip powered down his phone, placed it in his glove box, and locked his car.
We are nailing it, guys.
Where do we go from here? That's round 1. We got 9 more of these bad boys. I still don't know what the story is.
None of us do.
It's barely begun.
Do we have the name of our main character that the story is being told from?
Chip.
Well,
I thought it
doesn't have to be a main character.
Okay. Suddenly, something hit the side window and caused a crack. I don't know. I'm just trying to cause like some sort of a plot, an inciting incident.
Gotcha.
Couldn't
what?
Okay. When we use these lines, does the line have to just be verbatim?
Oh, when you use a listener's line?
Yeah.
Well, you can add to it at the end or beginning or before it.
But it was too late to land because the starship had already launched into warp speed.
Oh, all right.
Wait, we got a dude locking his car, but we've also got a starship, and now he's in the starship.
I don't know what to tell you. No, you can have a glove box in a starship.
No, a glove box, and he says it locked his car.
Maybe that's what he calls a starship. Don't judge.
His car is down in the docking bay. Below. It's a big starship.
Okay, so what do we got? Window cracked. We can't launch into warp speed we can't.
No, we can't land because the starship launched into warp speed.
Oh, okay.
Which means goodbye, Ken.
Yep.
So you, Aaron.
I know. I'm thinking.
We knocked out a good amount of these the lines already.
So far, this is the end of round 2, and I don't feel like we got a kind of a direction. All right. Chip looked out the star window to his left and saw Sheila was the one who fired the shot.
I thought it was a rock.
No,
And
she said
it
something.
was never
She said
specified.
something. She
Suddenly
didn't say.
something.
They're traveling at the speed of
And
light.
so is Sheila. This is not a real thing. I think they can do that.
No, you're right. You're right.
You know she's a better X.
Huh?
Chips.
SpaceX.
Well, I don't know. Amanda will tell me.
Filled with rage, Sheila approached the ship. At the same time, Chip and what are the ship people called?
Crew?
His fellow crew started their emergency evacuation process.
Wait, can you define how she approached the ship? Because she's in another ship.
Zoom!
Okay.
She zoomed over to the ship.
All right. Maybe Sheila's ship approached their ship or something. No, it's your sentence. Yeah. You got it, Zach?
Sheila's approaching with a rage. It doesn't matter how she's doing it, but she's coming.
All right. And they're preparing to evacuate. All right.
Captain Zack ran down the hallway to let the crew know there was no need for an emergency evacuation.
No need.
They have a crack in their window. You don't know what space air is getting in there.
Space air.
Luckily, Captain Zack's gonna fix it.
Space bugs. What are we at? This is round 3, right? Okay.
Is this round 3?
I feel like this is...
Nope, it's round 3.
Yeah.
We've done 2 rounds.
Boom, 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 boom. Captain Zack. This is so meta.
It's so dumb.
It is.
It's a different Zack.
No. Hell no. It's you. That's what I'm picturing at this moment. Captain Zack, emulating what he learned from years of Dukes of Hazzard reruns, immediately hit the brakes and ceased hyperspace. Yeah.
Now
It feels very anticlimactic.
Okay. Hang on.
He's got more rounds.
Hang on. I can finish that sentence. Captain Zack, everything else, prompting Sheila's ship to zip right by him
So now Sheila's out of the picture.
for the time being.
I thought for sure Sheila was just flying like, Captain Marvel out in space.
I thought about making it like that. I'm not going to lie to you. It's back to me, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And then Sheila realized she shouldn't have let her guard down when she felt the hot rush of blood from her stomach as Scott.
Hey, how does that sentence work right now?
Because she just she just zipped by.
She wasn't injured.
It's the rush. Oh, I get you. Never mind. Okay.
I feel like that has to come after the other Sheila thing. Like you almost have to go Nathan Christie.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but
Okay.
you gotta get them. We gotta get those parties together first.
Okay, hold
Yeah.
on.
Do you want ideas?
Well, I was just gonna make it so that way Zack felt a little bit like it was like his lost love or something.
Get him on the ground, man. There you go. Get him on the ground.
Get him on the ground.
Or you just got to get them together.
Yeah.
The ship, Well, she could board the ship. You could board her ship. I mean, there are options.
Let's see.
You can go on the ground. You could have Darth Vader come into the picture if you need.
This is what every story room is like on TV shows when they're trying to break a story. Like it's it's just going back and forth. Going, what do we do? How do we get them off the island?
Wait, we got to do 22 episodes of The Flash again this year?
Moving at hyperspeed. Or wait, no, did they stop? They stopped.
Yes,
She moved.
Yeah.
She moved. Hold on.
Stories are important if you pay attention.
There's so much going on. I can't see it visually in front of my face.
It's because it's not real.
I meant like the words. I don't have the words in front of my face.
Well, that would be weird if we had a teleprompter.
That would be awesome and very helpful. To avoid another interaction with Sheila, Captain Zack and Chip elected to immediately deviate course and land on the nearest planet.
Well, that's good. Relieved that they no longer had to worry about the crack in the window, the crew let out a sigh of relief. Unfortunately, relieved twice in the same sentence. It's ridiculous. Bad writing.
Hold on, say it again.
So I said relieved that they no longer had to worry about the cracked window. The crew let out a sigh of relief.
Well, they're two
Relief,
separate
relief.
words. They're just, I mean, obviously one's derived from the other, but still.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to write that.
No, but you did.
I didn't. I have written it down.
Shame.
Shame.
This guy over here.
Now I forgot what the last sentence was.
You're so
Everybody's relieved.
old. Yeah, everybody's relieved. The crew's relieved. They don't have to worry about the crack in the window
And
anymore.
they're landed on the planet, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
On a planet. We don't know what
Right,
planet.
I'm about to turn the story into pitch black.
Unfortunately, the excitement was short-lived as Sheila's ship landed directly in front of them.
She's fast.
She's smart.
She's good.
Now we're on round 5. Or that was round 5.
I think we're on round 5.
We're on round 5, yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Should I try to get Sheila back on ground too?
She is on ground. She just landed in front of them.
I feel like every round you're not listening to the story. She literally just landed. She's like, what's up?
How did she get there so fast?
It doesn't matter. It's a story. I made shit up.
Okay, hold on.
Amanda does not get to write sci-fi.
Sci-fi is literally my least. No, I could never.
Well, now they're on the
Okay,
ground. It's grounded again.
I almost exclusively want to write sci-fi.
Really?
I would love to write sci-fi. Yeah.
Weird.
I want to do so many epic fantasy stories. Where's the epic sci-fi story? Like political intrigue and stuff.
As Sheila approached Captain Zack,
Why do you always say that so shitty?
because it's
Yeah,
dumb.
why can't I be a captain?
His name is Captain Zack.
You don't get to be a captain.
It couldn't be like Captain Zachary. I feel like Captain Zachary is more commanding
I
than
feel like
Captain Zack.
You're negging him right now.
Oh, I gotta
You
fall in
can't be a
love.
captain.
5 minutes and he's going to tell me I'm beautiful. Isn't that how it works?
Captain Zack Sparrow.
That'd be a good one. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. Because now I think I almost forgot what I was going to say. As Sheila approached Captain Zack, Chip,
What was that?
he must be calling you. I thought it was an alien noise.
What just happened?
Dang. Tell me that doesn't sound like UFOs.
Yeah, a little bit.
As Sheila approached Captain Zack, Chip pulled Zack's arm. No. Chip tugged on Zack's shirt to alert him to the impending meteor now arriving.
Wait, what? There's a meteor coming? All right.
We're going to keep reworking this plot.
I just want to know what the difference between tug and pull is. I mean, it's really the same thing, isn't it?
I wanted to say that he was tugging on his shirt, not like pulling his arm.
Hey, meteor. Meteor guy. Hey,
Pretty much.
let it hit Sheila.
Is that we're doing the meteor?
No,
yeah, we did the meteor. Meteor happened.
Sheila traced Chip pointing up and saw the meteor approaching, and a display of awesome power destroyed it with energy coming out of her hands.
Oh, she's cool.
Yeah, how are we going to stop her?
Is somebody gonna
Yeah.
peep into our story?
Yeah, I feel like there's people in your background there. Sheila turned to Captain Zack, gave him a smile, snapped her fingers.
And he turned to dust?
No. Yeah. Sheila turned to Captain Zack, gave him a smile, snapped her fingers, and Zack watched as Chip turned to dust.
Another one bites the dust.
We're not paying
Be whatever I want.
We're not paying royalties on this. Round 6. Fight.
Mortal Kombat. I like it. Okay.
Sheila is badass.
Sheila is like Captain Marvel, basically.
Sheila, well, Captain Marvel can't do that. Sheila's basically God.
Maybe Captain Jack shouldn't have messed with her. That's what I'm thinking.
Captain Zack. Or maybe he's about to mess with her, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I feel like that's
we
how
can
they
work a
resolve.
penis in. Yay!
We should, because I feel like that's how it gets resolved. Is like
We've still got 4 rounds. Let's go easy on the
She's-
penis.
Yeah.
she's angry at him and bitter, and then he comes back around and says, "Oh, I love you, Sheila," and then she's like,
Sounds like she's bitter at Chip.
I mean, maybe she's bitter at both of you.
You'll always be my queen, as he plunged the knife into her heart.
How you feeling, Doug? You got Chip killed.
I don't want it. I'll never want it.
Okay, so she stopped it, but then she snapped him into dust.
Chip's dead.
Yeah. She's got some powers.
The entire crew ran in screams and terror from Sheila, whose eyes filled with a gleam of fire.
Oh, she was hot.
And her hair turned red.
Oh, yeah, she's a phoenix.
Now it all makes sense. This is the X-Men.
And the MCU.
Captain Zack stood his ground, however, looked at Sheila dead in the eyes, and gave a smirk.
We're in round 6. Sheila said to Captain Zack, the only way they're getting off this planet is if you put your penis in me.
To Zack? Or to Chip?
Chip?
To Zack. Chip's dead! Story are you hearing? So Zack has to mate with Sheila.
Wait. Don't go there yet.
Well, that's what she said.
She literally said it.
I know she said it, but he doesn't have to do it.
Okay, well,
he
it's
might
round 7.
sacrifice people.
Well, actually, I mean, let's not get carried away. we talked our alien episode. The first thing I'd want to do is bang the alien.
Zack stood in shock at Sheila's proposal, before turning to her and rejecting it, inciting more rage in Sheila for not getting her way.
I don't understand how we get to the hug from here.
Well, everybody dies, or do they?
Okay. Yeah, I got this. Sheila charged at Zack and stopped inches from his face. And as she stared at him, stared daggers at him, he said, I'm just kidding.
You really want to sleep with Sheila.
You risked it. You risked a lot just to be able to pull that joke on her.
That's a funny joke. Zack's got swagger.
Captain Jack gave her the nod, and they went into the captain's quarters and completed the task.
The task. So scientific.
Round 8.
But Sheila's unpleasant intercourse did not stop her.
Oh.
So disappointing.
Did not stop her from killing everyone except for Zack.
Jesus!
Well, when a woman hits her climax.
Oh my lord. This is so offensive.
Yeah. Zack was stunned that Sheila's orgasm killed his entire crew.
No, it was unpleasant.
and it result sealing his resolve that he had to kill her.
But first he needed pants.
Maybe.
No, that's not my sentence.
We can do this.
Gotta
get to Batman.
Oh, I forgot about Batman. I need to reopen the Google Doc one.
Hang on. Zack pondered for a minute on how his reluctance to stand his ground just killed his entire crew. And as he looked in the mirror on the nightstand, he regained his composure by staring intently into the mirror and thinking, I'm Batman.
There you go. Okay, what we got there?
Whew, round 9.
Nobody used the everybody died yet, which is why I killed all those people.
Well, we've got 3 sentences and we got 2 rounds. So,
well, luckily, I think right now presents an opportunity to knock out 2 of them.
Okay, so are they still... They're still in the same room.
They're still in the same room.
But he's looking in the mirror.
And he thinks he's Batman now.
Well, he doesn't think. He is Batman.
DC's Batman.
Does he say, I'm Batman?
Yes.
He says, I'm Batman.
I swear,
you deleted it!
You haven't listened to a single line I've said in this entire story.
Like, wait, Zack, I'm sorry, Zack said it out loud?
Yeah.
Or he said it... Okay.
I said he thought to himself.
Okay.
That's why I was asking, did he actually say it? Did Sheila hear it was really what I was going with? Sheila crawled from where she laid towards Zack, almost like a sad puppy,
Weird.
Seeking.
I don't know why you keep punctuating your commas.
Why do you hate on Sheila so much?
Well, she's a little pathetic. I mean,
we don't know her backstory.
And as she neared Zack, she made eye contact and began to stand, which is when Sheila gave him a big hug and Zack smiled.
Friggin' run-on sentence.
I tried. I gotta get her over there, man.
And then you literally could have just said, and when Sheila gave him a big hug, Zack smiled.
They weren't standing next to each other.
Oh my God.
You don't, theater of the mind.
You're not George R.R. Martin. You're not Stephen King. You're not
I can write a story however I want.
And then Sheila realized she shouldn't have let her guard down when she felt a hot rush of blood from her stomach. Zack's smile faded into a crooked smirk.
Hey, we got there.
Right on track.
Sheila looked down and saw that Captain Jack had stabbed her.
Captain Zack, thank
you. Sorry. She way too much Pirates of the Caribbean.
It's Captain Zack Sparrow.
Sheila looked down, and upon her horror, Sheila looked down, and to her horror, witnessed that Captain Zack had stabbed her twice tonight.
I can't believe we're here.
We got 3 lines.
Last round.
Oh, man. Go on, Amanda. You can do this. We can do this.
As Zack contemplated what he had just done, costing hundreds of lives, and
the orgasm heard around the universe.
And thought about how everyone died. ... Or did they?
You don't pronounce it ellipsis.
I guess we're having a happy ending.
We're not done
we don't
yet.
know. There's 2 lines left.
For at that very moment, he looked out onto the planet around him and saw his crew snapping back into existence. Is Captain Zack's pants still off?
I hope so.
His crew's like, what the f?
All right, here we go.
That. Sorry.
Right. And just as Captain Zack looked out to see his crew while smiling, he looked down, and Sheila, not quite dead, looked back at Zack with her own crooked smirk and snapped her fingers.
Nice.
The
there
end.
you go.
Period.
That's how Infinity War should have ended, by the way. Just this.
Woof.
Can't believe we did it.
Here we are.
We did it.
I don't want to edit this at all.
Neither do we, and that's why Zack's not rich.
Can you get rich so we can pay somebody to?
Sure.
That'd be nice.
I'll knock out the lottery real quick.
All right, well, that's season 2. That is it, man. That is our fun. You guys are going to hear the full story without all the extra stuff here in a second. But before we go, let's go around. Anything you guys want to say in closing in season 2? Amanda, anything on Smirk as we close out the year? We'll be back, I think, in September, probably, roughly September. So make sure you stay subscribed. If you're not already, subscribe. Tell your friends. Share the show. They've got like 70-some episodes they can catch up on in the meantime. And then we'll be back in September sometime, I think. Is that a good date for you guys? I don't know. I guess I should have asked.
Yeah, I'll see why not. I'm sure we can just keep the subscription going.
There you go.
And well come back for season 3, and hopefully it won't be a Netflix situation where they just cancel us at season 3. And
you never know.
Even if you're riding high. But hey, you know what? Thanks for listening to our show. Really appreciate it. You guys rock. Really like this story was fun. You guys submitting your lines. It's always great when we get stories, so never be afraid to write in a story. We like to read them.
Well, and that gives you plenty of time to write in some stories. So do that while we are on a hiatus.
You could write The Winds of Winter.
Anybody else could at this point.
And The Dream of Spring could probably get done too.
Yeah, but thank you guys for listening and for consistently contributing to our podcast by comments and responses to the stories that we've created ourselves, and also submitting your own. It's kind of cool to have that interaction. Make sure you share the show with a friend. Tell them, hey, man, my own line got in here.
Yeah, and thank you guys, because you built a story
a weird
about
one.
A sexual revolution that leads to the destruction of the entire universe. So good job. If you do write your own story, you have an idea, or even if you have an idea, this is something I want to encourage for the next season, because I know not everybody wants to write a story or knows how to write a story. If you come up with a theme or a moral, we will write around that, or a concept, and we will try to write around that to include it in the show. So you can do that at mystory@smirkpodcast.com. It's mystory@smirkpodcast.com. And we will definitely be back. But you can also find us. Tell everybody where they can find you on other shows. In the meantime, Amanda, go first.
You can find me on The Hollywood Outsider with Aaron Peterson. You can also find me on Veronica's Marshmallows, which is a podcast devoted to Veronica Mars.
Zachary?
I'm on The Gaming Outsider, a video game podcast. You can find me there. I'm on Twitter at GoCastZack.
And you can find me on Twitter at Aaron Smirks. Huh? It's all together. It all ties together. And also, The Hollywood Outsider is a podcast that I do regularly. The Blacklist Exposed for The Blacklist, and when that's on. Beyond Westworld, if you're a Westworld fan. And I just started doing a thing called Presenting Hitchcock.
So really, he just does, his whole life is podcasting.
Yeah, a lot of podcasts.
That's Presenting Hitchcock is once a month. It's just once a month. And it's Hitchcock. I could talk about Hitchcock all day, every day, all day.
That doesn't negate the other 4 podcasts, though.
The other ones I do out of guilt.
Oh, okay.
And loyalty.
Right, just like this one.
Yep, guilt and loyalty.
Aren't you the one who started, like, all of them, though?
I didn't start Blacklist.
Okay, almost all of them, though?
Seems to be your biggest success, though.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
Ouch.
Hey, Hollywood Outsider's gotten a lot of stuff there, my friend.
Look, I know that's your baby, and I didn't mean to demean it. I just meant, like, you gotta, like, go to the Blacklist writer's room and stuff, man.
All right, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying? You're like buds with the cast or whatever.
And the crew.
Okay, now it's time to hear the entire story without all of the extra laughs and fun. We're just the entire story from the beginning to the end. Are you ready? Here is our tale.
Ladies and gentlemen, take my advice. Pull down your pants and slide on the ice.
Chip wondered to himself why the captain always had to say this when they left the Star Dock.
Feeling his vacation away, Chip powered down his phone, placed it in his glove box, and locked his car.
Suddenly, something hit the side window and caused a crack.
It was too late to land because the starship had already launched into warp speed.
Chip looked out the star window to his left and saw Sheila was the one who fired the shot.
Filled with rage, Sheila approached the ship. At the same time, Chip and his fellow crew started their emergency evacuation process. Zoom!
Captain Zack ran down the hallway to let the crew know there was no need for an emergency evacuation.
Captain Zack, emulating what he learned from years of Dukes of Hazzard reruns, immediately hit the brakes and ceased hyperspace, prompting Sheila's ship to zip right by him.
To avoid another interaction with Sheila, Captain Zack and Chip elected to immediately deviate course and land on the nearest planet.
Relieved that they no longer had to worry about the crack in the window, the crew let out a sigh of relief.
Unfortunately, the excitement was short-lived as Sheila's ship landed directly in front of them.
As Sheila approached Captain Zack, Chip tugged on Zack's shirt to alert him to the impending meteor now arriving.
Oh my God. Sheila traced Chip pointing up and saw the meteor approaching, and a display of awesome power destroyed it with energy coming out of her hands.
Sheila turned to Captain Zack, gave him a smile, snapped her fingers, and Zack watched as Chip turned to dust.
The entire crew ran in screams and terror from Sheila, whose eyes filled with a gleam of fire, and her hair turned red.
Captain Zack stood his ground, however, looked at Sheila dead in the eyes, and gave a smirk.
Sheila said to Captain Zack, "The only way they're getting off this planet is if you put your penis in me."
Zack stood in shock at Sheila's proposal before turning to her and rejecting it, inciting more rage in Sheila for not getting her way.
Sheila charged at Zack and stopped inches from his face. And as she stared daggers at him, he said, "I'm just kidding."
Captain Jack gave her the nod, and they went into the captain's quarters and completed the task.
But Sheila's unpleasant intercourse did not stop her. Did not stop her from killing everyone except for Zack.
Zack was stunned that Sheila's orgasm killed his entire crew, sealing his resolve that he had to kill her.
Zack pondered for a minute on how his reluctance to stand his ground just killed his entire crew. And as he looked in the mirror on the nightstand, he regained his composure by staring intently into the mirror and thinking, "I'm Batman." There you go.
Sheila crawled from where she laid towards Zack, almost like a sad puppy. And as she neared Zack, she made eye contact and began to stand, which is when Sheila gave him a big hug and Zack smiled.
And then Sheila realized she shouldn't have let her guard down when she felt a hot rush of blood from her stomach. Zack's smile faded into a crooked smirk.
Sheila looked down and, to her horror, witnessed that Captain Zack had stabbed her twice tonight.
As Zack contemplated what he had just done, costing hundreds of lives, and thought about how everyone died. Or did they?
For at that very moment, he looked out onto the planet around him and saw his crew snapping back into existence.
And just as Captain Zack looked out to see his crew, while smiling, he looked down, and Sheila, not quite dead, looked back at Zack with her own crooked smirk and snapped her fingers.
Nice.
The
There
end.
you go.
That was it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's time to wrap up the show for the year. How do you guys like this show? Let's get back to this show. How do you guys like this show?
It's garbage.
How are you liking season 2? How did you like season 2? We did cut it back a little bit because the first season we did an episode every week of the entire year, and it was a lot. It really was a lot. There's no break, so we decided we're taking breaks. We earned them. But what did you think of season 2?
I mean, I like Smirk. It's more work than you probably think because you really do have to, whip up stories, and writing can be hard when you don't when inspiration doesn't come to you. But I like it keeps my writing chops strong, so I always appreciate that. It's a different form. I do a lot of writing for the Gaming Outsider. I do a lot of reviews, but this is a very different form of writing, which I appreciate.
Speaking specifically of season 2, I felt like we had a lot more listener contribution, and I really appreciated that interaction that we've had with them. Just people engaging with us on our social media platforms. Particularly, we see the most on Facebook, but if people want to interact with us on Twitter too and respond in the threads that we've created there, you can interact with each other on there, but you can also in our Facebook group too. And it's been fun watching that kind of evolve and how people take different things or what things of the story they liked the most. It was just kind of fun to see those responses.
I just like when it's stupid fun. And also, there's been a couple serious ones. We did politics this year. We had a couple serious topics. So it's nice that we can just do anything. Somebody actually, one of the listeners asked me why don't you guys not write a story and just do the moral thing and just have the discussion? I'm like, that's every other podcast. So really wouldn't be anything special about it. Just be like every other podcast. This makes it a little special.
I mean, I would say you could skip the story, but that wouldn't be very nice.
Well, that's what he was saying. Why don't you skip the story and just?
I meant the listener.
Oh,
fast forward.
Well, he probably does. I don't know. You got me. I don't know, but we do put a lot of work into the stories, and we definitely make sure that they are original and they are our ideas, unless you guys send them in, and I just assume that they are original.
Because even if they're true, even if the story is truth, we're still writing that story to put that together.
We get it. The triction that you want to copyright.
No, I said truth.
I know, but you really, in your heart, you're trying to make triction thing.
I think it is a thing because you've had listeners tell you that it's a thing. So
not this season. I haven't seen it this season. I think they left.
No. Zack is a trictioner.
Stop with the triction.
Thank you.
So much
betrayal.
So much triction's great. You've abused the triction.
I have not abused it. I created the triction.
Have you ever heard of a joke is only funny if you stop
it's
it
not
3
a joke.
times?
It's real.
No, it's a joke to us, is what I was trying to tell you. All right, join the conversation by joining our Facebook group. Follow us on Twitter at Smirk Podcast. Be sure to use the show's hashtag Smirk. Don't miss an episode. Be sure to subscribe to Smirk at your podcast app of choice. Check out our website at smirkpodcast.com. And as you write your own life story, always remember to tell it with a smirk. Unless you guys want to do it all at once.
We can try.
That's ridiculous. It's never going to work.
We need a countdown.
3, 2, 1. And as you write your own life story.
Start it again. Hold on.
We'll do the count. Just keep the count synced up, and I think we're fine.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. And as you write your own life story, always remember to tell it with a smirk. This is awful.
With a smirk.
Why are we going smirk? Why aren't we just saying, and always remember to tell it, or always remember, whatever, with a smirk?
I think we're just going to leave. We're going on vacation. Bye.
Bye.